Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. It is I, Jeff Darling, your commissioner, last place dweller, nearly, and your host of this weekly Warrenton's Finest Fantasy Football League recap. This is our Week 10 recap and our Week 11 preview, and the Thursday night game is already underway. And I don't have much time because in approximately... well, in 5 hours, I leave for the airport, and then, 6 a.m. tomorrow, I depart for Japan. I'm very excited, taking the whole family to Tokyo to visit my wife's grandma and uncles, and we're going to go to Mario Land and Tokyo Disneyland and Tokyo Disney Sea, and we're going to go all over the place, and I'm already exhausted. But it's going to be amazing. Japan is one of my favorite places on earth. Highly recommended. If you have not been able to go and it's not on your list, put it on your list. It's a great place to go. It only costs about $1 million. Just kidding, but close. All right, let's go ahead and get on into it. Guess what? I lost again, so that's cool. But let's take a look at the Week 10 recap. Now, it was me and Carlos, both of us, itching for that victory number 3. And for a second there, projections. The only one that I think constantly does the correct projection, well, it's just not me. I was projected, I think, 106, 110, I forget what it was. Ended up with 72.5, and we went into the Sunday night game with Carlos needing Jared Goff and Amon-Ra St. Brown to get him, I think, just like 6 points, 8 points maybe. And here's the thing. It was looking so promising. The first half, Jared Goff, 5 interceptions. He had minus points. I was up. And then I texted Michael and I said, all it's going to take is it was the fourth quarter and I was still winning. Very slim odds of winning, but I was still winning. And then I said, watch what's going to happen. Goff's going to throw a garbage touchdown to St. Brown and I'm going to lose. And as I texted it, a touchdown to St. Brown, and I lost. 84.4 to 72.5. Congratulations, Carlos. You got your third victory, but you beat me. So can you really be proud about it? Probably not. Next up, Matt was taking on the slightly above average team, who is indeed performing slightly above average. Jason with a handy victory, 127.8 to 94.5. And, 94, you would have beat me, Matt, as usual. But what are you going to do? Joe Burrow, 37.72 points. If it's not for that, you had Jalen Hurts with 29, so what was the other difference maker? Running back getting 14 and 15 for Jason, 16 and 16 for... Look at that, Travis Kelce. All right. I'll admit when I'm wrong. Let's see how old Kelce's been doing. Okay. So he was traded after doing 4.9, 1.1, and 5 points. He has since then done 12.4, 11.5, 3.7, 20, 16, and 16.4. So it looks like, Jason, you still have yet, I think, to watch a single video. I don't think you've chimed in on a single text message. I doubt you even have Discord installed. It makes me wonder if you even truly exist. But that trade did not appear to be terrible for you. So, would we have vetoed it if the veto had existed back then? I think it would have been vetoed. But should it be now? Now, 6 weeks later? I don't think so. Travis Kelce finally remembering who he was, and he's put up, I think, 5 or 6 solid weeks in a row. So, congratulations, Jason, on the victory and the trade. Next up, the Weasel taking on ChatGB Lee. Another 2 teams just itching for a win. And guess what happened? I'm tied with Brandon now because Brandon beat the Weasel 94.5 to 73.08. I would have lost to the Weasel. Paul, if you had played me, again, I don't know I'm talking to you. You're busy with a newly reopened Chick-fil-A. Congratulations, sir. But you would have beat me. You would have gotten your first victory. But again, fantasy football is all about who you play, what week, and you've played the wrong team 10 times in a row. Pretty impressive, actually. 94.5 for Brandon, 73.08 for the Weasel. And looking at the bench, couple things. George Pickens, Russell Wilson. That would have given you 10 more points on your quarterback and 12 more points. So you would have 12 plus 10 is 22. You would have had 95. If you had played those two guys, you would have won. Don't start Tua anymore. That dude needs to retire before he makes himself retire through, dare I say, brain death? Is that a thing? Brain dead. So brain dead. Having death of the brain. I don't know. All right, next up. Greg taking on Team Queen. And Team Queen, what's going on? The throne is slipping. You're losing to Greg. Former coworker Greg. 121 for Greg to Hannah's 101.32. And it's one of those classic things. You don't start Zay Flowers, he scores 30. You start Zay Flowers, he gives you 5. And the only consolation is even if you'd started Scary Terry, you still would have lost. Greg's team's putting up some big numbers. Lamar Jackson, 33.9 points. And the newly discovered pronunciation of Chubba Hubba is actually Chuba Hubbard. Probably got that last name wrong, but congratulations, Greg. Having a strong showing here ever since you changed your name. Actually, it's not. Yeah, it's pretty accurate, actually. Now, Michael taking on the arch nemesis, Sean. Sean, again, I think on the nose, you hit your projection. But you know what? Don't even be proud about this. You can't be proud about this. Your quarterback gets you 6 points. Achon gets you 7 points. Brees Hall gets you 10 points. Malik Neighbors only gets you 7.8. Let's take a quick pause at Malik Neighbors. Ever since you traded, he had 9, 24, and 24. You traded, gets 18. Hurt, 6, 10, 10, 7. I think Jason won that trade. Crazy how much something can change. Perception. Perception is not always reality. All right, Malik only gets you 7.8 points. Trey McBride, is his name Trey? Yeah, it is Trey. Good job, Jeff. 9.1. Cooper Kupp, 11. Kansas City, 7. Dicker, the kicker, 9 points. And you say to yourself, you've got Kyler Murray on the bench with 28. How on earth did Sean score 122 points and beat Michael? Well, I'll tell you how. Gosh darn it, 11 catches, 264 yards, 3 touchdowns. Jamar Chase, your prince, 53.9 points. I mean, what are you supposed to do? What are you supposed to do? If you subtract the 53 from 122.7 minus 53 points, 69.7 is what Sean would have had. He would have had a below average and probably would have lost to Michael. But no, 53.9 points for Jamar Chase. Another victory for Sean. Congratulations, sir. Last up, we had Mike taking on Dan. And this one, I thought Dan won. At some point, I think I checked the score, and the projection was 99% for Dan. Honestly, I lost track because I lost all hope once I lost. I think something happened Monday night, but I don't know what happened Monday night. What happened Monday night, guys? Because Mike won. Something happened. Something happened. And Mike wins 107.1 to 105.86. Dan, I don't know what happened, buddy. I really thought you had won. And then I checked Tuesday morning and what? Mike wins? Anyways, let's take a look at the quick standings here because I've been talking for a while. I'm very tired. And like I said, I got a plane to catch. In the East Division, we got Sean at 9-1, riding an 8-game winning streak. Playoffs all but guaranteed. Next in second place, tied, Dan at 7-3, Jason at 7-3. Greg is 6-4, 2-game win streak there. Dan's lost 2 in a row, and Jason's won 3 in a row, and Greg's won 3 in a row. So it's getting pretty close here at the end of the season. Matt lost, has a 6% chance of making the playoffs. Welcome to the basement, my buddy. You're 4-6. I'm 2-8. I've lost 3 in a row. There's zero hope for me. I have a 1% chance. Never say never. In the West, we've got Mike at 8-2, won 2 in a row. Michael at 7-3 with a loss. Team Queen has lost 2 in a row, slipping from 5-3 down to 5-5. But it looks like I might get her to the playoffs because the West is weak. Weak, I say. Carlos, speaking of weak, but not as weak as me. 3-7. Brandon, breaking his huge losing streak, is at 2-8. And then the Weasel, officially eliminated from playoff contention at 0-10. Wow. All right, let's take a quick look. The Thursday night game is underway. How are we feeling, Redskin fans? You've got a big prime time match going on right now, and the radio is all abuzz. Local radio folks really seem to think you got a big chance. I haven't checked the score yet. Let's just take a look at our matchups right now. I was already projected to lose to Michael, and right now, still projected to lose, but it's 2-14 right now. Dallas Goddard, 2 catches for me, so that's okay. But I'm projected to lose 91-115. Michael, just give me this one. Who needs it more? Your boy does. Your boy needs this more. Next up, the Weasel taking on Gone Fishing. Projected the Weasel 117 to Matt's 105. Could this be the week that the Weasel gets his first victory against the Gone Fishins? Could be. We will see. Team Queen taking on ChatGPT. That's how you get back on the horse. Play Brandon. Although that didn't work for Paul. He's just never been on the horse, though, so he couldn't get back on. Hannah projected 112 to Brandon's 91.4. Next up, Sean taking on Greg, and this one's a 50-50. Projected 107.1 for Sean to 107.9 for Greg. Could it be Greg who takes the win streak down of the creature? This is the first time Sean's been projected less than 168 points in the last 10 weeks. Next up, Dan taking on Carlos, projected 111 for Dan, 95 for Carlos. And then the last matchup, brothers taking on each other. Jason projected 110 to Mike's 96.7. There you have it, folks. That's our Week 11 preview. Have yourselves a wonderful week. I will talk to you guys next from the wonderful land of Japan. I don't know. I may not do a video. We'll see. But have a fun time here. Lots to be excited about here in the United States. Just not my fantasy team. All right. Konnichiwa.